Welcome to Weekly World Climate Change News. This is Han Zhang. With a new agreement to replace diesel-powered public buses with electric models, Oslo is on track to become the first capital city in the world to achieve an entirely electric public transit system. The city is expected to reach this objective by the end of 2023, and the agreement is a part of a larger plan to make Oslo the world's first zero-emission city by the end of this decade. Electric bus maintenance is less expensive, and the switch will reduce noise and air pollution in the city. Numerous ferries in Oslo have already been electrified, and the city has an extensive network of backlines and enhanced safety measures. Climate change is increasingly becoming an economic problem. Natural disasters, like the recent floods in Pakistan and Germany, leave trails of destruction that cost billions to recover. Hurricanes in the USA in 2017 lead to damages worth over $125 billion. The Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research estimated that the United States, one of the strongest economies worldwide, will not be able to compensate for further hurricane damages by itself in the future. National and global supply chains will also be continuously affected by the aftermath of natural catastrophes. A Dutch NGO, Case Rights, mentioned that because of climate change, at least 1 billion children are at risk, which trails back the lack of improvements in the living standards of the youth in the past 10 years. More than 100 million children were affected by water scarcity worldwide. Around 1 in every 4 children are affected by harmful disease like malaria and dengue. This is alarming for the current and future generations of children, since their basic rights are under the threat due to the rapid change in climate. The United Nations calls for urgent measures and more investments in helping countries adapt to the increasingly hostile planet. Some of the proposed measures include imposing an early warning system, restoring ecosystems to protect the world's devastating impacts, building climate-resilient infrastructure, investing in rainwater harvesting systems, and encourage the implementation of integrated water resource management, and building long-term strategies and policies. Earlier this year, scientists identified a new species of whale that has been only seen in the Gulf of Mexico. However, this animal, known as rice whale, is now at risk of extinction due to the continued oil and gas development in the Gulf. Scientists were able to determine that these whales are structurally and genetically distinct from the other similar species. The whale can grow up to 42 feet long and weigh up to 60,000 pounds. There are only about 50 known individuals. Researchers now urge to install additional protections to safeguard the species. Sudan is already reeling from multiple crises like coups and dire poverty. But now the devastation of natural disasters is also depleting the severely limited resources of the nation and destroying the environment. According to a 2020 ranking in the Global Adaptation Index, computed by Notre Dame University in the United States, Sudan is the 5th most vulnerable country to the impacts of climate change. This nation, ravaged by war and civil unrest, has also been the victim of extreme weather patterns like harsh droughts, boiling temperatures, and torrential rains. Severe floods that wrecked poverty, infrastructure, and crops have killed more than 145 people. Researchers plan to conduct a study to determine whether reefs could be the key in the effort to fight climate change. They will test how much carbon artificial ocean reefs hold on to. This process, called carbon sequestration, would demonstrate how much carbon could be held in a single reef over time. The promising study will take place in the Rio Grande Valley Reef, the largest artificial reef on the Texas coast. Reef ecosystems are very important to the Pacific oceans and the health of the environment in general, as they are part of the carbon cycle and on the Earth. September 2022 was recorded as the fifth warmest September month in 143 years, tying with the same in 2021, as per recent report. The average temperature across the world was 0.88 degrees Celsius above the 20th century average of 50 degrees Celsius, making September 2021 the fifth warmest since 1880. The report stated the likelihood of 2022 being one of the 10 warmest years on record is greater than 99%. Asia and Africa experienced their fifth and sixth warmest Septembers, respectively, whereas South America and Europe experienced their coolest September since 2013, despite having above average temperatures.